Welcome back into our EIGRP lab. We have just configured EIGRP between Rose and Beck. So now we're going to configure it on the rest of the routers in the network. In this case, what we're going to do is go into Rose and do show run. And I'm going to copy and paste out the EIGRP configuration because the networks are going to be the same all across the enterprise. And obviously this is a small test network. You normally wouldn't have this luxury, but in this case we do. So in this case we'll go all the way down here to router EIGRP. You'll notice that it automatically puts the auto summary in here as that is the default configuration. We're going to turn that off here in a bit, but not before we see what kind of havoc auto summary can wreak on your network if you actually use smaller subnet masks than the classful subnet boundaries would indicate. So in this case, we'll go over to John. I'm going to enable config T and just paste in the EIGRP configuration. Do the same thing for Dave. Paste that in there. And the same thing for Jade. So now we have neighbor adjacencies forming all over the place here, at least on the point-to-point links, although we do need to change this network statement on all of the other routers now that I look at it. So I'll pause the video here and actually fix that. And so now we have EIGRP routes all over the network. Let's look at some of these route tables and let's see what we've managed to do here. So we'll do show IP route over here on Rose. And true to our word, we learn about all of these point-to-point networks. We know about the directly connected 10.10.4 network, but you'll notice that right here, 10.0.0.0/8 is a summary pointing at null 0. So because we have EIGRP auto summarization turned on, even though we're advertising all of the networks into EIGRP, we couldn't actually ping Dave's network from Rose over here. So, for example, if we were to do ping 10.10.2.1, you'll notice that it times out and times out and times out. If we do a trace route, you'll see it won't actually go anywhere. So we'll wait for this to time out. We'll do a trace route to 10.10.2.1. And it doesn't even know where to send the traffic because it says, well, it's a summary. It's pointing at my null interface. And so I don't really have any place to send the traffic to anything other than my locally connected network. And my friends, this is why you never use auto summary, at least in my opinion. Because unless you're using Class C networks everywhere, including on all of the point-to-point links, then you most likely will end up with routes that you don't need in your routing table, or more accurately, you'll end up with fewer routes than you actually do need. So let's go over here to Beck, and we'll turn off auto summary on Beck, and let's see what happens to the route tables on all of the other routers. So config T, router EIGRP 100 will do no auto summary. So that pulls down all of the neighbor adjacencies and brings them all back up because you've reconfigured EIGRP. You're no longer advertising that summary route. So let's see what the route table looks like over here on Rose now that the adjacency has reformed. Show IP route. You'll notice that we now know about the 10.10.3 network, which is on Beck, but we still have that auto summary route for 10.0.0.0/8. So we actually have to turn off auto summary on all of the routers, not just on Beck. So we'll do config T, we'll do router EIGRP 100, and we'll do no auto on this guy. And we'll repeat this on all of the routers, and again, we'll pause so you don't have to watch me type the same commands over and over. So now that we've done all that, let's look at the route table on Jade now. Now, Jade is over here on the left-hand side of the network, connected to both Dave and Beck. So we'll do show IP route, and we'll see what routes we have in the route table. And now over here on Jade, we have 10.10.1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are the loopbacks for all of these networks, so I should be able to get to all of them. So let's ping from Jade over here to John, 10.10.5.1. If we do ping 10.10.5.1, we get 100% success rate because now it can get from Jade to John. So now we have a fully converged EIGRP network. We know about all of the networks, including the point-to-points, all across the LAN or the WAN. We're going to pause the video here. We'll pick it up in the next video, and we'll investigate some of the EIGRP tables. We'll look at the EIGRP routing decisions, why EIGRP decided to go certain routes for certain networks, and so on and so forth.